What did you learn today?
These are incredible people. We met with numerous African-American folks from the area, and they're having a tremendously hard time. And we will make things so good. We're going to make things so good. We're going to get rid of the crime. We're going to help with the schools. We're going to bring back jobs into this country. And it's disgraceful, frankly, what's happened with respect to the African-American community, how badly they've been treated by Democrats that have run the inner cities for so long and have given them nothing. All they want is their votes. So I met with a phenomenal group of people, and we had a really great session, and they're with me all the way.
You mentioned crime, and I know as you've been reaching out to African Americans, you've talked about neighborhoods. You said you walk down the street, you get shot.
It's true, 100%.
What's your plan to deal with gun violence?
You have to have strong police. You have to have strong community support. You don't have any, the support and the police together are not working.
What about the guns on the street?
The guns on the street, you have to take them away from criminals. They know who they are. You have criminals carrying guns, and beyond guns, they're carrying things like bombs, and they're carrying everything else you can carry, and you have to know who those people are. And the police know who they are. The police know so well who they are.
So what are they not doing that they could be doing?
Well, they have to, number one, they have to be stronger in terms of getting the bad ones off the street. You have people on the street, and frankly, I think what you do is your situation where you have a criminal, a known criminal, an offender, who's got a weapon of some kind, you've got to take it away. They did it in New York, and they ended the procedure. They did it under stop and frisk. They did it under Rudy Giuliani. And stop and frisk is a very positive thing. They stopped it in New York, and the numbers are starting to go up again. But you have tremendous violence in the streets of Philadelphia. Your mayor is doing a terrible job here, terrible job. And there's no communication between the police and the communities, and it's a very big problem.
You gave a big speech on immigration this week. You talked about no amnesty. You talked about not being able to come into this country illegally and then get legal status. But there is still some question about what would happen to folks who are already here who have not committed crimes.
Okay.
Would there be a chance for them to stay here without getting legal status?
So here's it. We have to have strong borders. Everyone agrees. We're going to have a wall. We have to stop the drugs from pouring in, because the drugs are coming into our country, poisoning our whole country, our youth, but beyond the youth. We've got to stop the drugs. We have to stop people from coming in illegally. Many of these people have horrible records. Once the border is secure and we've stopped this horrible flow of illegal immigration, in fact, I just was with an incredible family that lost their daughter to a person that should never have been in this country, an illegal immigrant who should have never been in. Once that's all done over a period of time, then we sit back, we see where is the country, what's happening, and we make a determination for the people that are here that weren't criminals, that weren't, other than the fact that they came in illegally, and we make that determination at a future date. And hopefully it'll be a very positive determination.
Could you see a possibility that people could stay and just not get legal status?
Well, here's what I see. I see a possibility. We're going to look at this very, very strongly over a period of time. But what we have to do immediately is get the really bad, look, gang members, we have drug lords, we have cartel people, we have people that should not be in our country. They're here totally illegally. We get them out starting in day one from my administration, and they're creating tremendous violence in the street. You have some of the worst gang members are here illegally as illegal immigrants. That goes, we have a border. We have a wall. We stop the drugs from coming in. When it's all set and we've created some real strength and we have that border, that strong border where people can't come in, then we look at the people that are here and we come up with a solution based on where we are as a country.
What type of money, federal money, would you be withholding from cities that you consider sanctuary cities?
I'd withhold a lot of money. Sanctuary cities are a disaster. You look at San Francisco with Kate Steinle, and you look where these people are going into sanctuary cities, and they get sanctuary, frankly. They get taken care of, and the police are afraid to do anything when somebody's involved with a sanctuary city. We defund sanctuary cities. We hold back
completely?
Money. We hold back money. The sanctuary cities are a disaster in this country.
Would that include Medicaid money?
We hold back whatever we have to hold back, because they're going to give them up, because sanctuary cities are just a method for criminals to protect themselves. And we don't want criminals to be able to protect themselves. We've had enough. We have had enough crime in our country, tremendous crime, both inside and outside, coming from the outside. But there's tremendous crime in our country. Sanctuary cities are a disaster.
I want to get your reaction to the FBI information coming out today. I do want to ask you, though, as we go into that, with all the talk about the Clinton Foundation, what would you do if you're elected to make sure that there are no conflicts with your business? What would your involvement be?
First of all, the Clinton Foundation is turning out to be a total scam. But when you look at what they've done with respect to these FBI notes where she didn't know what the letter C was, now that's a lie. Unless she's not an intelligent person, that's a total lie. She didn't know what the word C was. Now, she did fail her bar exams in Washington, D.C., so maybe she wouldn't. I don't know. But to think that Hillary Clinton doesn't understand what the letter C is, and then you look at some of the other things that she did with all of the different devices she was using and everything else, she's put you and me and everybody in this country at great danger. And I think that the FBI is ashamed of themselves for their final adjudication, for what happened. I think they're ashamed of themselves.
Why do you think that?
Because take a look at these notes. And also, why is it notes? Why don't they have tape recordings of this meeting? They're taking notes of the meeting. The notes are horrible, by the way, for her. They're horrible. But why wasn't she put on tape? Who ever heard of a thing where she wasn't put on tape? When they break into a mob den, it's tapes, right? So they use tapes for everything else, but they didn't use tapes to interview Hillary Clinton. Why isn't she on tape?
What would you do if you're elected to make sure there is no conflict with your administration and any of your businesses?
Well, I would put my stuff into trust, and I would have no involvement. Look, let me tell you, it's such an important job. It's such an unbelievable amount of work to be done. The last thing I care about is my company. I'll have my kids run it. I'd put it in trust and be done with it. And don't forget, as I make the country stronger and as I bring back jobs, that's good for me. It's good for everybody. But our jobs are being drained out of the country. They're being drained out of our country like we're a bunch of babies. They're going to Mexico. China is taking advantage of our country. What's happening is incredible. But you look at the way, look, I'm in Philadelphia. I went to school here. I know the city very well. To see how far it's gone down, the inner cities and the neighborhood where we're in right now, I can't even believe it. I mean, the fact is your mayor has done a terrible job. Look at your crime statistics. Look at your education statistics. Your mayor has done a terrible job. I don't know the mayor, know not much about him, but the mayor of Philadelphia has done one terrible job. The people we met with today are absolutely incredible people, and it was really a great meeting. Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Trump.
Very much.
Appreciate it. Great.